BC's premier says if the U.S. slaps tariffs on Canadian goods, the province may retaliate by pulling American booze off shelves or taxing American trucks driving through BC for Alaska.
Anything that we can identify to help Americans understand the integrated nature of our economies and that harm that is done to Canadians is actually doing harm to Americans as well, then we're going to use those tools.
On Monday, U.S. President Donald Trump said he thinks he'll impose a 25% tariff on Canada and Mexico February 1st.
We're putting on our Team Canada jerseys right now to stand with Canadians right across this country from coast to coast to coast to stand up to these tariff threats.
But not everyone feels part of Team Canada. Eby's comments came hours after First Nations leaders said they hadn't been invited to meetings about the tariff threat.
It can't be a Team Canada if you don't have a strong contingent of First Nations leadership sitting at that table with you, because we are talking about our lands, we're talking about our territories, and we need to be decision makers and we need to have a voice in terms of what's happening there.
The 9th annual BC Cabinet and First Nations Leaders Gathering is currently underway in Vancouver. Housing, the environment, and the overdose crisis among issues being discussed, but the tariff threat is top of mind.
There'd be a downturn in many of the resources industries that we're a part of here in British Columbia, whether that's forestry, mining, or what have you. And that will affect our economy. So this is really important why we should be a part of these discussions.
Eby says First Nations should have a seat at the table, and a representative of the First Nations Leadership Council will be on a new task force on trade and economic security. Meantime, Eby says he and other premiers are still planning a trip to Washington, D.C. next month, but Eby said Canadians should think carefully before going down south for spring break.
Canadians will fight. We will stand up and fight, and that includes making decisions about how we spend our money. And we will not spend money in a country that wants to do economic harm to Canadians.
In Vancouver, Monika Gul, City News.